Welcome back to our international mystery tour of death and destruction. And tentacles.
Whoa.
Wait, just a minute.
I'm even more invested in this now.
Oh man, that just took a funky turn.
Josh would be only more invested if I suddenly revealed, and you're all getting your own robots, and you're going to kill the gods.
This is the best D&D campaign ever.
Yeah, so we're now all playing Xenogears.
Great. I'm Evangelion. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's all those. Perfect.
No, we are playing Dungeons and Dragons. Specifically, Tales of Jemmora, the Kraken's Wake. We are just temporarily down one Sean, who will be here momentarily. But last time, the party found an undead hideout and, in usual party fashion, stormed it and did come out successful.
Woo.
Barely.
I don't know if I'm going to call that a success.
I mean, you saved a little girl, and you know,
murdered
basically
the
you cleared
shit out of basically everything we could get our hands on.
Is it murder?
Basically everything.
Not the one that mattered.
Right.
I'm sorry, I couldn't do any more damage.
I don't think if anybody's to blame, it's me.
It is you.
So the party cleared out a cave full of undead and unexpectedly agents of their nemesis, the Kraken.
Dun, dun, dun.
The Kraken. And
You just sound
finding
like Nixon.
some
I am checked.
new minions of the Kraken that they had never encountered before. This one, both undead and displaying characteristics, including face tentacles and nasty hands, and casting spells. So that's always great, right?
Yeah.
We now pick back up after they have cleared the room and are sort of catching their breath just after a pivotal battle in which this adversary, like a coward, escaped via teleportation magic.
Tyron Kai lets out several, still in Deinonychus form, lets out several avian-sounding hisses, shudders slightly, tips his head from side to side, clicks claws against the stone. None of you can speak dinosaur, but it's obvious he is very displeased.
We opened a treasure chest, yes.
You
Yes.
did.
Yeah, there was
We
some.
did.
There was treasure.
You found there were a couple of potions
I'm gonna
and
be
a
trying those bracers on.
set of bracers. Yeah.
A bracer of tossy stampy.
Yeah,
Yes.
bracers of flying daggers.
Yes.
Cha-cha-cha.
And I did talk with Sean about it, and so if you wanna try those out, Courtney, you are welcome to.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to try those out.
So, as I said, they are bracers of flying daggers. You have to attune to them.
Yep.
But what they do
I'm gonna
is,
be unattuning.
as an action, the bracers will produce 2 daggers that you can then throw. You can make 2 ranged attacks with them, either at different targets or the same target.
She can now throw her dagger off the boat indefinitely.
But this
Yes.
time, they're magically produced daggers, so it doesn't matter.
It never mattered.
They so it was not.
They're gonna be regular daggers though, not like.
Can they only
know.
be thrown?
They can only be thrown.
You cannot make melee attacks with them.
Nope.
Important to note.
Maybe. Let's find out.
Breaking the
Bracers
law,
of-
breaking the law.
No, that's only if you use polymorph to disguise your friend.
Watch, the one comment we have on the stream will be from those guys being, you can't do that.
Huh. Okay. It's not. So, I'll let you look that up, Courtney, or whatever.
Yep.
For now, we're going to say that it's ranged attacks only because why would you need to do it with melee attacks?
Yeah, when I have my other 2.
Well, what
If someone takes
My
your
admin.
weapons but
What
not your
if-
bracers.
she throws her sunblade off the boat? And only had that's something that would happen in my game for sure.
This is
Yes,
true.
because- You're
Everybody's
evil
always
DM.
losing their
This is true.
weapons. That's my go-to on a one.
Not everybody. Not everybody. Let's be real.
Right.
Let's be real. One person. Weapons, horses.
I'm just saying, because in my mind, if I was for some reason lost my weapons for
Yeah.
some reason.
Yep.
And I could only, and I had the daggers. Would I be able to use them as melee? That's
Yeah.
just.
So I'll say for now, until we have further evidence suggesting otherwise, they're going to be ranged attacks only. Because the name of the item is Braces of Flying Daggers.
Yeah, well.
So,
You do what you want.
yeah, I will do what I want. Because I'm the DM.
That's right.
So,
That means you're
Backstreet Sharks, what do you do now?
Did you guys see me hit that thing?
No,
Really?
I was trapped in a bubble.
Yeah, what was up with that?
I don't know, but you didn't do anything to help.
I mean, I was kind of hitting the thing with the
Yeah,
tentacle-y-
after you spent, I don't know, 20, 25 seconds attacking the beings that didn't matter that were just standing there.
Yeah, needed to get them out of the way.
You could have just run past them. You're pretty quick.
Didn't really feel like it.
Well, there's the problem.
So, like, seriously though, what the hell was that thing that I almost killed?
I have no idea. I've never seen
Anybody
anything
can make a, we'll say, a history check or an arcana check.
History! Because I'm a sorcerer with terrible arcana.
Of course.
Because that's how that goes.
Because are you really a sorcerer? It comes into question quite a bit.
11.
Also 11.
Yeah, there's. I mean, it looks similar to other agents of the Kraken that you fought, with having features of marine creatures and everything.
It
But
had a Kraken face.
it had a Kraken face.
Yeah.
But aside from that, like, you haven't heard anything this in tales or stories or anything like that.
Clue? Anybody?
Admiral Bitchy Kraken Face the Third.
I like that one,
Good names,
Seraph.
Regardless, one more sweep of the room. Make sure we didn't miss anything.
Okay. There are still kind of a lot of those alchemical and arcane reagents. There's just like big bundles of them that were not taken out of the room when the creature teleported out.
Can you make any sense of this, May?
Yeah, let me take a look.
So this, Courtney, is going to be. So it's going to be an intelligence check, but are you proficient with alchemist supplies?
No.
Okay, so it's just going to be straight intelligence.
Cool.
So no then.
3.
They're not for making any kind of potions that you have experience making.
Okay.
Or any ingredients, sort of alchemical
It's
reagents that
nothing
you
that I've-
have experience with.
Okay.
So
I got no clue.
you know that they're alchemical reagents
Yeah.
to some degree.
This
but-
stuff is used in alchemy. I do potions. Like,
I smash it with my hammer.
Okay. There isn't any sort of reaction, whatever. It just smashes and ruins quite a few of the ingredients. They kind of mix together, and like there's some that are like mildly caustic, not enough to deal like acid damage to somebody, but like will ruin, like any dried and preserved like herbs and stuff like that. So yeah, it creates a big pile of mess.
Good. And what was it? Is that cauldron in the middle still going?
Yes. Still seemingly bubbling on its own, bubbling and boiling on its own,
With no heat source that we can.
with no heat source.
Hey, Magic Man or Wild Boy, either one of you want to check that out?
Trying guy's still staring where the boss monster was and kind of hissing and bobbing his head oddly.
I'll examine the cauldron.
Okay.
while he's doing that, I'm gonna be really stupid and take a pile of like something from the alchemical stuff, toss it in.
Okay. So give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Because it just looked like water boiling in there before, right? If I remember
yeah.
correctly. Yeah.
Tonight's episode of Tales of Jemmora is brought to you by the number 11.
So, obviously magical, given that, there's no heat source, but it's bubbling and boiling.
It's clearly putting off heat.
It's putting off...
not boiling without heat.
That would be terrifying.
It is not giving off heat.
Really?
So it's some kind of boiling and bubbling without
Okay.
heat. It's like, so it has all of the visuals and sort of the auditory that it would be boiling, but like you're not feeling any heat coming off of it. So it's almost like a cold boil. So it's almost like a cool mist coming off of it, as opposed to like steam.
Okay.
When you throw that stuff in there, as Seraph's, looking into this cauldron and everything,
I'm sorry if I burn your eyebrows off. Courtney says.
it doesn't really have any effect
Okay.
on it. You're guessing that because this stuff was ruined when it was mixed together, it probably rendered the materials like inert. So you're just throwing it. Like it momentarily like stops as if you were going to put something in like a boiling pot or whatever, but then like continues back up, and you see now there's just bits of
Stuff.
like herbs and
It's like boiling rosemary.
kind of, yeah. If like you crushed it and mixed it with like weak hydrochloric acid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Useless. Let's go.
Wait a second. This is going to sound really weird, but when it kind of, because it calms a little bit when you throw something in.
Yeah.
Could I see anything in the bottom?
No.
Okay. Just, I don't get it.
I'm already walking out.
Right.
Okay. Come on, Twix. Let's follow Fuck Nuggets.
Since I don't know if Sean's cast it or not, he's just gonna like dispel magic on the cauldron just to see what it does, and it just like stops. Just like stops bubbling and everything or whatever.
He did cast a spell magic last week.
He did. Like I know he has it. I just don't know
how
if he's
many.
got the spell slots to do
Yeah,
it.
I don't know.
So
I don't
this
know
is
about
just
his slots.
gonna be
He gets a freebie via
Right.
DM.
Yeah.
DM Fiat, he's
Yep.
dispelled magic on the cauldron.
Yeah.
yes.
Get in the Twitch chat and you can't do that.
DM is God. He can do whatever he
Fidelity of
wants.
game ruined.
You're ruining my immersion.
That happened a long time ago. Yep. Probably the moment I started putting computers and tablets, basically.
Yeah.
This before the stream started. Yeah.
Yes.
It's fine.
Or the reanimation
We're
chamber.
slowly building our way to max.
Keep dreaming. Keep dreaming.
Warforged are just like small mechs.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
We just need to build bigger versions of those.
If Twixen had levers in his chest, that little chameleon could have started piloting him around.
You just have to find Undermountain. That's all.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then Twix looks around and just like dump in the direction of like that room that the creatures were summoning essentially those like big giant currents from. Essentially, so that it doesn't like run toward the rest of you as you leave. And it just like dumps and dissipates and everything. You hear like a slight hissing sound or whatever. It seems to be like kind of reacting with any organic material that it touches on the floor. But it's not like eating through the stone itself, because stone is not typically reactive to caustic agents.
Oh, well. Jacob doesn't hear this because he's already
Nope.
on his way out.
So,
and he's going straight to check on the kid.
Yeah. So Watcher Rayanne and the little girl are still outside. They're like hiding just off the path a little bit. But when they see you come out, you can easily find them.
The kid all right?
She's a little shaken up, but physically, she'll be all right. I'm going to bring her back to Grufton and see if there's anyone who can take care of her. As it would seem that her family was also taken, and they did not make it. So I'm going to see if she has any next of kin still left in the village. And if not, then we'll figure something out.
I'm going to describe to her what we fought in there, if she's familiar with any of that.
Well, I mean, I'm familiar with there's undead creatures,
Right.
of course, but the other creatures, no. That's quite disturbing,
Yep.
especially if there's some sort of marine undead creature now that we have to deal with, as if land-based undead weren't enough.
Well, we'll escort you back to Grufton, make sure you and the kid are safe.
All right.
Yeah.
And by this point, the rest of you come out. And, you all certainly look a little worse for wear. So
Yeah.
perhaps resting up before taking any further action would be best.
Just like an hour. Just to get. Or do we need.
I
or
think we
do
need
a
more
night?
than an hour.
We need a night, you think?
Well, in any case, she gives a whistle, and you see there have been like a couple of, it's like a couple of birds that have been like, flitting from tree to tree or whatever. And there's like been an owl kind of sitting up there, and it flies down. And she kind of whispers like some kind of message to it, and then sends it off. I'm going to deliver a message to any one of our riders or agents in the area to come bring a party to secure this hideout. So that way it's
Won't be
it's not
reclaimed.
reoccupied.
That's probably a good idea. Yeah.
So
How far is Grufton from where we are?
Grufton was like a couple hours.
Oh, then we're
Yeah.
going now. We're fine.
Yeah.
We don't need to stay here.
Yeah. So yeah.
So we'll escort her and the child back to Grufton so that we've got somewhere secure to rest.
What time of day is it?
If I recall, it was at this point, it's kind of late morning.
Yeah. I was
To,
gonna
like,
say, 'cause
early
we-
afternoon?
Yeah, because we went out in the morning. So
It's a little difficult to tell because you are in the Twill Woods. So it's dark and it's wet.
so it's miserable.
All the time.
Yeah.
So it's miserable. Me and Ferris are miserable.
Yes.
Who's Ferris?
You know exactly who Ferris is. You said you were gonna kill him.
No, I literally
Her
don't
mouse.
know.
No, my mouse.
I didn't know you had a mouse.
Yes, you did.
Well, I
ship.
didn't know that you took Ferris with you. Okay. This was the mouse that was in her shop that you were going to try and call
Yes.
the non-existent health department on.
Yes. Yes.
You're much to see.
I get the
Difference
sense.
between me and you, that mouse would not have survived if I were
He is,
DMing.
he is,
Absolutely.
Never bring your pets or anything to my battles.
That's why he has his
so
own little
as we're
pocket
walking-
in
Yeah.
my cloak.
I'm going to take the girl and I'll let her sit up on my shoulders and carry her, basically.
She doesn't say much. But I mean, if you talk to her, she responds, but she's pretty quiet. She seems understandably somewhat traumatized by the ordeal. As, I'd imagine anyone would be after being held hostage by ghouls.
Yeah.
So. The trip back to Grufton is actually quite uneventful. It seems that with you sort of removing the undead forces that were in the nearest hideout, the way there is a little more secure. And so you get back there, and the town is a little still reeling from the events of the past few days. But folks are still trying to get back to a sense of normalcy as much as they can. The door to the inn is open. And you notice that there are sort of two more watchers that have showed up into the village and are just kind of helping folks, you know, try and do stuff, or is it helping with errands or anything like that? And they approach Watcher Ryan, and they kind of discuss what exactly went down. And she kind of fills them in on the situation.
I'll add in details specifically about what was in the
Okay.
cavern.
They note that there has been a missive that has gone out within the past hour for any units, for any watchers not out in the field to head toward Rosington, as there is word that there is a sizable undead force that is gathering and then marching straight for the capital. However,
We don't even get to nap.
noted, it's going to take them a couple days to get there, as it's an undead force. It doesn't exactly move very quickly. And any agents in the field are to assemble essentially a strike force and head for the Rose Gardens. As if there's a sizable force moving toward the capital, that means that presumably that force is not protecting the gardens itself.
So, are they saying we have to choose between what we do?
Saying that we should go to the Rose Garden.
Yes.
I mean, initially it's just a missive that says, like, you know, any available agents that are out in the field, assemble a strike team and head to the Rose Gardens.
Well, the rest of us can do what we want. You're
Whether-
the one who's
Yeah,
been
I
sold
was
this
gonna say,
servitude.
but
That's
even
true.
then, you know, whether you choose to go along with that or not is largely an individual decision.
I'd like to ask them how large their force is at the capital, or their estimation of how large their force can be at the capital, and what other defenses the capital has on its own, and how large is the force moving towards the capital.
There's no specific numbers. It literally just said a sizable undead force. Looks like intel's not very good coming from the area. Just like, seems like that there was like an owl rider or two that passed by and noticed kind of a large disturbance in the forest moving by. There are roughly a total of 100 watchers of various ranks and stations that are in that area that can be mobilized in defense of the capital. The capital itself has, as you've seen, large exterior walls. They do have their own military force, in that they have the Navy. They also have the Twills Guard. And you presume that any spellcasters within the city can also be mobilized to help repel the threat, whether they be priests that have achieved some sort of clerical ascension, or any registered arcane spellcasters.
Okay.
That in I would imagine that if they get anywhere near the water, they'll mobilize all ships, including the Folly.
Even if they could take the city, they couldn't hold it.
The docks are on the south side of the city,
Yeah.
which is furthest away from the direction that the undead force would be moving from.
Well,
if it's coming from the Rose Garden.
It's true, but even if they took the city, they couldn't hold it because any ships could then pull away from the shore and begin shelling the town.
Yeah.
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a dire circumstance, but if needed.
Yeah, but if the city was lost in that situation, it becomes a death trap then.
It's too late.
I was gonna say if there's no other recourse for the citizens of Rosington.
The city must be purged.
Oh, dear goodness.
I can't let
How
you do
can you
this,
even
Arthur.
consider that?
Here we see
let you do this, Arthur.
here we see the
Okay,
fall of Jacobin. as
My
he,
goal is to be either Vegeta or Arthas. Or both.
oh dear Lord.
There is no middle
No.
ground there.
No.
One or the other.
Yeah. Yep.
So
There's
Illidan.
Dana only Zula.
Vegeta and Arthas.
Yeah.
It's just Illidan.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway,
I'm not worried about our ship. We've got
I'm
Kramer
honest-
there. He can handle it.
Well,
Yeah.
right.
there's plenty of people to guard the capital.
Our ship will be fine. It's just the capital will be fine because our ship is there. That's
Yeah, as I say,
we're not worried about that.
yeah.
Right.
So I say we head to the Rose Gardens.
Yeah, it looks like it will be a couple days' journey to get to the Rose Gardens. As you are moving through the woods, there are no, if there were any roads, they've now been overgrown. And I mean, it'll still take this force, a couple days to move. And the Watchers can certainly, any units in the field can certainly harry them on the way to slow their progress.
Yeah.
It's just there's not enough units in the field itself to take on the force, it seems.
Yeah.
So that's why they're recalling
Yep.
essentially any nearby units. But any ones that are sufficiently far away, they said, well, you're not going to make it back in time, so it might be a good point to mobilize and try and strike at the gardens while there's an opportunity.
Yeah. Yep.
But I mean, you're in no condition to go running off now.
Yeah, no, at this moment.
But we'll take a rest and we'll see what exactly will come as of tomorrow morning if there's any new information to be gathered. There is a lodge north of here, sort of northeast of here. I'm sure they will likely be heading in the same direction as well. So we may see some numbers of Watchers heading through this area to get just to join up with a force. We also, for a strike force, we wouldn't want to accumulate too many people to attract too much attention to ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I make a small request, a message maybe you can pass on?
Of course.
Do you have somebody who could scout ahead to the Rose Gardens ahead of us? Like, I know this guy has a talent to transform into animals. Do you have somebody like that in your ranks who could maybe fly off ahead and maybe get an aerial view and tell
I'll
us what
see.
to expect?
We do have a shaman within our ranks. That's at that lodge. I can send a message to see if they're able to do some scouting.
Just one person who can.
It's no guarantee, of course, as it's quite risky. They may
Right,
not
obviously.
be willing to risk such an asset, but
It's fine. And who might ask anyway? I'm just the new recruit.
well, we are open to listening to any ideas during such times. So you'll find it's not a very rigid hierarchical structure,
Sounds
unlike other
That
organizations.
sounds inefficient.
By necessity, we are largely independent. we are going to see to this little one's situation. And I suggest that if you have any business you want to conclude before we make our journey tomorrow.
There's got to be a general store in this little town, yeah?
It's a small general store.
Okay.
But yeah, like there aren't any specialized shops. It's like,
That's fine.
think kind of like Riverwood.
Could I find, like, would they sell any type of stuffed animal?
And none know the reason, but
give me
in
an
Twillin
investigation
they
check.
say that Jacobin's small heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Give me an investigation check.
That was beautiful. That was so beautiful.
8.
They don't have any new ones, which is to imply that yesterday there was certainly a shipment of stuffed animals that are no longer being used.
Oof.
Yeah. So they go, I don't know. Since you're the one that brought them back, I don't know if I really want to sell you one of these.
Yeah, whatever. I go. I leave.
Okay.
Oh, dear God.
Twillin's dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say it's the thought that counts. The thought was there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just go and take it easy for the rest of the day.
Okay.
Until I get sleepy enough to fall asleep.
Yeah. So, anyone else doing anything? Okay.
I would want to just sketch that silhouette that I saw of my mother.
Okay.
Just like remembering all
Are you procuring rooms at the inn?
Uh-oh.
That's the only place to go.
Yep.
Granny
Presumably.
Grindle.
Yep. I'll gladly go back.
Unless you want to ask a family.
Nope.
No,
Okay.
I'll gladly go back
Nope.
to the inn.
Oh, hello, dearies.
Hello, Granny.
Welcome back. What sort of business has brought you back to Grufton?
Room, no conversation with you, just a room.
Oh, you're now fun.
Exactly.
No, he's very rude.
How much is the room?
This is the DM not remembering what the rate last time was.
It was free last time. It was on the house.
That's
Yes, it actually
correct.
was.
The standard rate, you see, we don't get very many travelers out here. It's 5 silver a night
Yeah, here.
per room, of course.
Yep.
I pay for my own room.
Okay.
I give her just a straight up gold.
Thank you, dearie. Do you need any more consultations?
We'll see, possibly.
Very good, very good.
I'm gonna think about that.
And how's that potion working out for you?
Thank you.
I feel strange. My scales seem to be in unusual health. My joints have been hurting.
Oh, I'm sure I can whip up a potion to help with that.
Tyrant Guy, oblivious to the fact that he's walking into a trap, looks
Beautiful.
quite
That's
looks quite
beautiful.
pleased at that thought,
Okay.
Oh my God, that's lovely.
having learned nothing from the first time.
I just
Apparently,
love how much she can mess us up, and it's just beautiful.
And she doesn't mean to, it just happens.
Yeah, you know.
Jacobin says otherwise.
That cauldron was probably hers in the cave.
She it will be just a gold, and this will be enough applications for about 2 weeks. And she just hands you, it's like a little like poultice that's been like wrapped in just like paper. Just apply this on the joints whenever you're feeling achy.
he
It's a
hands
thing
her
of
the
tiger
gold
bomb,
piece.
dude.
Yep.
Yeah, it's basically.
Don't put it where it don't belong.
Yeah. That'll burn. That'll burn all sorts of different things.
We had a coworker that learned that the hard way.
I've accidentally pepper sprayed myself in the eyes.
That was a camp thing.
Yeah.
So-
it was- I'll tell you the story later.
Yeah,
So-
please.
And will you be purchasing a room, dearie?
Yes.
That would be 5 silver pieces for the room, unless you're sharing with somebody, and no judgments.
I have
I
things.
do giggle at that. May is still there. She giggles. Yeah.
I have things I must discuss this evening. I'll need privacy. And he hands over the coins.
It's always important to recognize the value of talking to yourself.
Seraph will pay for a room and quietly make his way to the room.
I'm gonna stay down and have a
Tyrant
drink.
Kai begins
Right.
following Seraph.
I do love men in masks. They're so mysterious. And I don't know. Do you require a room?
He's rooming with me.
Oh, that's right. Enjoy.
Thanks.
Oh my.
No judgments.
This is going to so many dirty places.
Then she, sort of shuffles on over. Little kind of old lady shuffle over to the hearth where there's a big pot of stew cooking, and she, still not quite ready. I did need something. It needs something, and she kind of fusses around with
Children.
Oh dear
That's what it
God.
means.
various ingredients.
Yeah.
Pulls out a vial of a thick red liquid.
Yeah.
Pours a couple drops in.
I hear there's a fresh shipment.
That's not terrifying at all.
No.
No. I think it's it's something, perhaps rabbit or duck. Maybe. Depending on which is in
Duck
season.
Rabbit thief.
This one gets it.
We are far too silly tonight. We're so sorry.
It's fine. It's totally fine. It cuts the
Cuts the darkness in half.
The darkness.
darkness.
Yeah.
It's far better than magic missile. If nobody else has any sort of downtime stuff they want to do, although you said you had much to discuss.
Well, and also he was following
Right.
Seraph for a moment. Seraph, before he says anything, you're very aware of Tyrant Kai's presence behind you.
He's not very subtle.
No.
Sharon Kai.
There's something I wish to ask, and the captain does not seem the sort to have this wisdom.
Does not have any wisdom.
There we go.
The captain has 8 wisdom, actually.
The captain has negative wisdom.
The captain has 8 wisdoms.
I'll open the door to my room and gesture inside because it sounds like
No judgment.
a personal conversation. No, stop! Jeez. It's not that kind of situation.
Glad to see you're catching on, dearie. You're from down the hall.
Tyrant Kai follows in, but he's being very informal about all of it. He's just kind of standing in the middle of the room, staring intently. This is your homeland, correct?
It is.
Something is wrong. If these walking dead have a stronghold, why would they abandon it in large numbers? They cannot hope to take the city we saw. It is too well guarded.
That's an excellent assessment.
This is a tactic I've used myself long ago when my tribe was many. An attack in one place, even one doomed to failure, makes an effective distraction.
I suppose at this point the important matter here is to figure out not whether or not this is a trap, but why the trap has been set.
Exactly. That is why I have sought out you. Is there something else we should be focused on protecting? Is there anything of value in these lands that would be of use to them?
Unfortunately, most of what was of value to this land was once situated within the Rose Garden.
Then there is even less reason for them to abandon their place of strength.
Unless they're trying to draw someone or something there.
Have we even been here long enough to draw such attention?
I'm not entirely sure if we're the cause, but if we are, then it's not impossible.
The way the other softskins speak of the walking dead, I thought they were foolish. This seems sound, if not brilliant.
What do you mean?
I was not expecting strategy from them.
There are two types of the unliving that seem to wander the world. The first seems more common outside of the realm of Twillin. Creatures raised by the living or unable to sleep in their rest properly. On this island, however, there is more than a small number of creatures that not only have kept their minds, but have become more cunning and more capable with their thoughts, tactics, and plans in their undeath.
Tyrankai narrows his one good eye. They are still foul, and their flesh is unfit for eating.
I couldn't agree with you more.
I have much to think on. Tyrankai opens his mouth to speak, and then seems to have lost the word for a moment, and stands there awkwardly for a moment. Thank you, and turns and leaves.
Seraph takes a moment to process the fact that Terran Kai just thanked him and closes the door.
Tyrankai is simple and primitive, but everyone seems to forget he's, since his last level up, he's got 20 wisdom.
Yo.
He is in tune.
Yes.
Whoa, man.
Not book smart, and definitely lacking in any and all people skills, but it's
I mean, it also intelligence is not his dump stat either.
no.
Yeah.
I break even on intelligence, but
So
no, in terms of bestial cunning, no, he takes the cake.
Dude.
Yeah. So, what sort of business brought you back to Grufton? You seemed pretty intent on heading out this
Don't
morning.
mention anything about the child tour.
You're not there. I literally tell her everything
course.
that went on.
I see.
Next morning, girl.
Little
No,
kid
you're not
turning
there.
on a spit.
Some sort of unusual octopus-headed creature, you say?
Yeah, it was insane. It was the weirdest thing is it said it was like working in tandem basically with this thing that we fought in the Esper Sea, which I think was a Kraken, something like that.
The Kraken.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Kraken.
Yes.
The crack man.
As far as you know, there's only one.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
Yes. I hope. Yeah.
There's more than one, we're in trouble.
Oh no, we're just filleted.
a good crack.
Krakens everywhere.
Hot Kraken on Kraken action.
But
Well,
yeah, and like, do you know the little girl that maybe we brought back? Can I describe her?
oh well,
She was a
It's-
little shell shocked.
it's a small town,
Yeah.
so
Just glad we were able to finally bring one parent back to child.
Except there's no parents to bring it back to.
no, it was made clear her parents were
that's right. Her parents were-
eaten
Yeah.
by the undead,
Yeah, we brought a
or
child,
worse.
a child of Grufton, back to Grufton.
Well,
Her parents were the ghouls we killed.
maybe,
Probably.
maybe not.
Dark.
You know, you are so harshing my mellow, dude.
Well, the community certainly thanks you for your service.
Yeah. I don't know where we're going next. I think we're heading with some of these other watchers to the Rose Garden. But who knows?
I see.
In his room, Jacobin's like, I just sense a disturbance in the forest. Like some naive young elf is spelling all our plans.
Jacobin's like flat out cold. And he just like sits straight up.
Yeah. I wake up in a cold sweat.
There's a point here. Have you heard about that? I've only, like, this is my first time ever in Twillin. But if they keep saying Rose Garden like it's some, like, important place, like, what's so important about just a garden?
It used to be the seating place for the royal family.
What do you mean used to be?
Well,
Where did they
they've gone
move?
missing. Presumably
Oh,
dead for quite
that-
some time.
That royal family.
The royal family, yes, dear.
Yeah.
You're not quite too quick on the uptake, aren't you? Now, I might have something to help with that. If you'd like, it'll just take a moment. I can mix it up right for you.
No, I think it'll be good. I don't know, royalty and all this other. I don't understand most of your society here in Twillin. So I don't.
Well, that's no doubt given your heritage. Now, is there any way a little old lady like me can be of assistance? I mean, as you know, I do have some fortune-telling skills. A little bit of divination. Perhaps I could help with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Could you already? There was scrying that you did to help me see my mother before.
Yes, dearie.
And last time you said it was on you, but how much would it be for you to do that again for me?
Ah, well. Since you've done such a service to the community, let's just say that you owe me one.
I don't know about
A
that.
favor for a favor.
I'm trying to stay away from doing stuff like that.
Payment comes in your flesh.
Last time I did that, I ended up in jail. So
Oh, no, it's nothing like that, dearie.
okay. You promise no weird raising of the dead type of stuff that goes
Oh,
on
no.
I give you this divination on the wedding of my daughter.
Sorry.
No. I'm not in that business of.
Like, 'cause
As you can
there's
see,
all sorts of-
the restless dead are bad for business here.
I was gonna say, yeah, because there's all sorts of weird and creepy stuff here that I do not want to make anything worse for anybody.
Oh dear, I'm sure you haven't even seen the half of it yet.
Oh, and unfortunately, I'm sure that you're correct. This island is all fucked up. Yeah, sure.
Very well. What exactly do you need to scrying upon?
Is there any way that you could do it of my mother again?
Oh, of course, of course.
Just because, like, I know you said it was really hazy last time, and like, but she was alive. Like you said, she was on like another plane, maybe.
Yes, that will still probably be the case. Yes. Unless, of course, she has somehow shifted onto a different plane in the past day. But planar magic is very rare.
Quick side question.
Sure.
When did I could I hear a voice with the last scrying?
Yes. It was muffled and faint.
Okay, so it wasn't like I could hear like I hear the whispers in my head.
Correct.
Okay. As I assume they are just in my head. Yeah, I mean something.
Well, you noticed. So the last time a fake crossing happened, you noticed the other elves were reacting as well.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
it wasn't just you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But I just don't know any other elves in general to like think about or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean I just can't get her out of my head. I've always thought she was just dead, and ever since you showed me just that little glimpse, she's all I can think about.
It's all right, dear. How about I put on some tea to help you settle while we conduct the ritual?
Okay.
It will also help serve as a focus for the ritual itself. We're going to show you in the teacup.
Trippy.
And she like does as she's like, tottering over with like a little tea kettle and everything. The scrying requires a surface of which to view, so typically a looking glass or a pool of water or a crystal ball or something. Which we used that last time, but I prefer a little bit more of a dramatic flair. So we were going to look into your tea leaves. Spooky.
I see the grim.
She pours the tea
Thank you.
and then begins casting. And I presume, Twixen, have you been present for this conversation?
Yes.
Okay.
I've just been standing in the back corner. Like,
Menacingly.
yes.
Beep boop, beep boop. You see the occasional goings on of his innards.
Update 2 of 16 processing. Do not turn off your computer.
You're not wrong. Yep.
Twixen requires restart for update.
So she casts she does the ritual, and you see, it's little because it's in a teacup.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, it's a little bit of a clearer image, and it's a elven woman with pale skin and sort of raven dark hair, long tresses, wearing a long black dress that has intricate designs woven into it that you're only faintly able to see because the stitching is also in black. So the patterning doesn't stand out so much as it has like a texture that it gives to it.
Okay.
And the woman is wearing a black veil that, unfortunately, from this vantage point, obscures her face.
Is there anything else on her head?
No.
Okay.
And she is sitting at a kind of an ornate table that's made out of like a dark wood. And there's just like a rough finish on the top of it. Seems like she is sitting and having what you assume to be tea, as it's in a like a small teacup. And suddenly she looks over in the direction of the sort of surface of the tea. And the voice is indistinct. But you can kind of make out. Actually, give me a perception check.
I mean,
And we'll see how clear of a message you make out.
I mean, my passive perception is 17.
This is going to be active perception.
Okay.
There's a difference.
Is this a T-ception situation?
Nice. Nice.
So is that a...
Nat 20.
Okay. So that's a 27.
Yes.
All right. So you get fairly clear message.
I'm just trying to take a poop in peace. Why are you watching me?
The chair is
I
not a
always
chamber
feel
pot.
like somebody's watching tea.
Oh.
Wow!
You did.
That
it.
was beautiful. That was
Very
good.
nice. Very nice.
You
Yep.
peaked.
So she says something?
Censor, what are you doing? I specifically said no divinations. Get it out of here now. And she sort of, with a flick of her wrist, you see the censor just like shred, and it's gone.
So like the tea kind of just.
It looks as if so you get the premise that like you were viewing through something, and it was sort of ripped and torn apart, so that the image itself rips and tears in the surface of the tea.
So censor, I said no divination. Turn it off now. Was that what it was?
Get rid of it now.
Yeah, get rid of it now.
Sorry, I had to write that into quotes. When she turned around, I still couldn't see her face. With the veil, it was
It was still pretty obscured. It was a pretty thick veil.
Okay. Still,
I'm sorry, dear. It seems that she did not want to be disturbed at that time.
it's not your fault, Granny Grindle. Thank you. Thank you. You don't know how much this means to me.
It's quite all right, dear. Now, I have some cleaning up to do, so you have
Yeah.
a good evening.
Thank you.
And she goes back and starts like wiping down counters and
I'm gonna.
dusting shelves and stuff like that.
Twixen, I'm gonna go to bed.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the room for you and I, so you're welcome to do what you do at night in there, too. I still don't fully understand it. It's like powering down.
No judgments.
Yeah.
I'll follow you.
Dirty old lady.
Yep.
Love her. Love her to pieces. She's gonna screw me over eventually, but I still love her to pieces. I'm just gonna should probably just spend another night just like thinking about what I just saw. And just,
So,
yeah.
okay.
I'll stand in the corner, face the wall.
menacingly.
Power down.
Power down. Okay, C-3PO.
Yep.
Yeah. The facing the wall part is a little okay. But then again, you probably don't want to see me ugly cry.
Honestly,
Make it
probably
just
wouldn't
ugly
bother me
cry
one way or
looking
the
at
other.
your butt.
So, anything else? Okay. The night passes. You wake up the next morning. You are refreshed. Nobody has had anything happen to them. You're all fine.
Do my hit points go back, or is that something I need to take care of somewhere?
That is an excellent question. Let me just look that up real quick.
This is a long rest, right?
Yeah.
It is a long rest.
Yeah.
No, phone, not 8. White. Nope.
I got my splody back.
Uh,
I mean, what?
Comes back after a long rest.
Hey.
So it resets. It's not like clay golem nastiness
Or mummies.
or mummy nastiness. Yeah.
Or lycanthropy.
Who is first out of their room?
Pretty rad.
Not it.
Well, hold on. Twixit.
Yes.
Oh.
When you come back up, so for the funsies, we're gonna represent this as you have a little sort of
I have a message waiting in my queue.
yeah.
Yes.
You have a little like
Update.
when you we'll say retrieve it.
Yep.
And it connects to the Wi-Fi, like downloads.
Which like this is something like it you've encountered this maybe like once or twice before. You think you're not sure when. It's kind of a weird, almost like a feeling of deja vu.
Okay.
But like instinctively, you kind of open it, and you hear lantern. Captain, I thought you just might want an update on these coordinates. I have determined they are not map coordinates. They are log entries. I still have to comb through archives to determine what log entries, what the specific entries refer to, but they seem to match the sort of numerical cataloging system used in the archives.
They're in the Dewey Decimal System.
Pretty much. Awesome.
I will send you another message when I have further information.
Cool.
Lantern out.
Okay. I like it.
You realize that it then pops up with like a, would you like to send a reply?
You may reply to this message.
Yes. Thank you.
Reply all. Every Warforged and Twilling.
It does not give that option.
That'd be awesome though.
It was a specific one-way
Yep.
thing.
Like a setting or something.
Reflavored a little bit.
Sliding into those DMs.
Yeah.
So, okay. So that happens just before anybody leaves the room. So, who is the first person to leave their room? Twixen is.
They still snoring.
As you pass by one of the doors, you vaguely hear a noise. It sounds like someone speaking in a very guttural voice. Don't really hear any individual words, but there's a cadence to it, repeating over and over, like a chant or maybe a poem.
Okay.
Okay.
You walk.
All right. Who is next up?
Sure.
Okay. I presume when he walks by, hears the same thing.
To his uncultured ears, it sounds more like someone's gargling than speaking, but yes.
I pay it no mind.
Okay.
This is par for the course with him.
All right. I'm going to presume this continues until Tyron Kai wakes up.
I'm assuming
Well, he's
awake.
already awake
Yeah.
until he leaves his room.
Okay, until he leaves his room. So, so if anybody else wants to wake up and hear that, you can react or not react. But okay,
Nope.
all right. So
Fair enough.
you notice there's a sort of a modest breakfast waiting for you in the common room of some sausages and little biscuits and either tea or coffee.
Can I do a taste check on the sausages to see if they taste like normal sausages?
Give me a perception check.
Dear God, do you think she made sausages out of children?
100%. 3.
Yes.
You don't
You're not
want
really
you
sure.
don't want to
Definitely.
know how the sausage
swear.
is made.
Come to think of it, you've never really had a whole lot of sausage before.
Really?
Yeah,
Are these links or patties?
they're links.
Okay.
Well, that should
So,
please
like-
you. Somewhere out there, a pig has met their death for this breakfast.
I mean,
I'm definitely like sitting at the
like
table.
you know of sausage.
Just roll 1.
You are aware of sausage, but it's. I mean, it
You have academic knowledge of sausage.
it tastes like pig,
Okay. Fair enough.
like spiced pig.
Fair enough.
I'm like
So,
sitting at the table,
sure.
dipping a biscuit into my tea. Good morning, Governor.
It
Would you like a spot of tea?
Oh dear God,
you've
that's
got
so
it.
Now
creepy.
wait, are you
You're spot on.
are you saying that in somebody's voice? Since we've
Yes.
established,
Yes, Jacobin's voice.
yeah,
Yes.
so that you can perfectly replicate
you
people's
can.
voices.
I
that's
just
not-
like stop mid-shoe.
That's not creepy at all.
Well,
Upon-
one step closer to having another me around, so that's good. I continue with my breakfast.
Upon smelling breakfast,
Yes.
May will have woken up at that
Yep.
point, comes down, grabs a biscuit and heads outside for her morning bowl. and
Before you
then-
go out,
Yeah.
hey,
I'm not even
Twixen,
paying attention.
Twixen, say something that I would say to her. Say it in my voice.
Would you like a spot of tea?
That's not what I would say. Like, teach her a lesson.
Fuck off.
Teach her one of my lessons.
Lesson number 78. Always stay awake.
Listen, you dick-nosed
That's pretty
turd
good.
waffle, just shut up. I haven't had anything yet.
Tyron Kai's happily eating the sausage and then begins
Jacob
to
looks a little more cheerful, actually, this morning. than
then begins
he
to
does.
push a biscuit around the table with a finger, not sure what to make of it.
It's bread, you eat it.
I'm going to come out and nod my thanks to Granny and take breakfast back to my room.
Okay.
I continue just trying to make Twixen say different things in my voice.
Yeah. This was, so
Because of course he thinks that's
so you
amazing.
hear from your room to Jacobins.
It's the best thing you've ever
and
heard.
that's the only way you can describe it because it sounds like Jacobin's having a conversation with himself.
With a lot of like.
But it's not
like repeating himself over and over again in pairs.
Yep.
Like he'll say something and then he'll hear it again, and then he'll say something and he'll hear it again, just like over and over.
Okay. You have the context of this conversation, but it's still kind of weird.
It's weird, but
Make
so
them-
but so is the small round bread-like object on the table in front of me.
Yeah.
So this is just an interesting morning all around.
Yeah.
Do you not want that?
It was in like a big platter, in like the center of it. So it was basically like you just take stuff from the platter,
okay.
and put it on your plate, and have it.
When I finally come back in, conscious of the day, what the? It is way too early for that. And I go and start pouring myself some coffee. Guys, why?
Lesson 87.
Why?
Lesson 87.
Don't drink coffee before a hike, or else you'll make a mess in your trousers.
Don't drink coffee before a hike, or you'll make a mess in your trousers.
Why?
Oh, this is such a delightful turn of events. Oh, I love it.
Oh my God.
That's a wonderful trick. You'll have to teach me how to do it sometime.
I am not, and she
Mimicking
actually
voices
will go
is something
back
that
outside
I
with
never
the
quite
coffee.
got the catch of.
I repeat that back in her tone perfectly.
Oh my, that's so delightful.
And at that, May makes
don't-
an about
no,
face
that's not
with
a-
coffee
Twixen,
in
don't do
hand
that.
and goes back outside.
So Seraph, you went from hearing two Jacobins,
To two
or
Grannies.
essentially Jacobin repeating himself, to then Granny Grindle repeating herself. So yeah. So we'll say shenanigans ensue.
Yep.
Breakfast is consumed.
May is
morning
so
morning
not ready for
rituals
this
are done.
This is going to be such a good day.
Everyone uses the privy before going out on the hike. because
Because I don't want to make
like
a
an
mess
because
of
less than number 87.
Yeah.
Like, you think I don't know how to pee in the woods?
Not pee.
Nope. Nope.
To be
That's
fair,
fair.
she's an elf.
Dungeons and Dragons, everybody.
Elves not poop.
No, but they they live in trees and whatnot. The world is their bathroom.
That must
So.
be so pleasant.
Anyway.
Just poop on everything.
I
Why
am
do you think
not
Elven
Scanlan
Forest
Shorthall.
grows so well?
Now that you say it.
Well fertilized.
I am no Scanlan Shorthall. That is no.
I'm
never
not sure
thought of
when,
that. I never
when we
thought of-
started being at Dungeons and Dragons 2nd grade edition.
From day
Yeah,
one.
how would it?
That's a fair point.
How would
roughly
a,
2
a
years
group
ago.
of elves living in a
Two-
giant
2.5
tree,
years
what type
ago.
of sewage system? That's an important thing to think
It just
about.
gets absorbed into the roots.
But believe me,
of the
I have
magical
put more thought than I would like to admit into what sewage systems are available for various communities.
Not for, I've never thought about for elves.
You know what they say? Does a wood elf shit in the woods?
Yes.
The answer is by default yes.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes,
maybe
it
they just
would,
have
it
a
would
very
have
efficient
to.
system.
Even if there were indoor plumbing, it would still count as in the woods.
True.
Yep.
Maybe they just have a way more efficient digestive tract than everyone else.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe they only have to take a dump like once a year.
Yeah.
Maybe.
They're also inherently magical, so they might
Okay,
just
can we stop
and teleport
talking
it
about
somewhere
me
else.
going
This is
Poop.
important.
They're wood elves, not mocklins.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
So, what have you all decided to do as far as your course of action?
Jigman would say, let's go to the Rose Garden.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually agree with the pompous cocknob.
You're getting extra mileage out of that.
I
insult
really
generator,
am.
aren't
I'm
you?
having so much fun with this.
So. All right. You notice
That's beautiful.
you can't really find the three watchers from yesterday.
We just ate them. They were the sausage.
You know it.
No. There is
You thought it was children. You were wrong.
there
any-
is a note
Yeah.
that is left for you that just says to Jacobin and the Backstreet Sharks. We have gone out ahead to recruit the services of our shaman and see if they're willing to scout out ahead. Whatever you decide, I trust that you are making the best decision. And it's just watch Ryan.
Love Watcher Ryan.
Dear God, somebody trusts you? What's wrong with her?
It's addressed to all of you, technically.
To be fair, she hasn't known
my
him
name
long.
is written.
Your name is written
It says
because
his name
well,
is
actually
written.
sorry. It says Watcher Stainthorpe,
Ah. Got it.
Watcher Jacob and Stainthorpe,
Yep.
and the Backstreet Sharks.
Okay.
We should go to the lodge that's to the north, I assume.
So technically, it would take you in the opposite direction.
I was gonna say,
Oh.
Like
yeah,
you have to
we
go
wanna-
northeast to get to the lodge.
And that's northwest.
Rose Gardens is like northwest from here.
Didn't they say we were going to meet up at the lodge first?
No.
No, they said that there were folks from that lodge that were going to be heading in the same direction, and then that would meet up
We would
Where?
probably meet up with them en route.
somewhere.
Yeah.
The
Somewhere
wilderness.
along the way.
That's a pretty big gamble.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
You
Well,
were-
a couple
you're
of
talking about a
watchers
very
aren't going to lay
decentralized
siege
organization.
to the Rose Gardens.
They're
We're
also
probably gonna-
like finding people is like what they do.
yeah.
Fine, whatever. Head toward the Rose Gardens.
straight shot.
So,
And I say under my breath, I guess it's time to go home.
we'll say you hear that, and you hear that.
What the fuck?
And that's going to be where we take a break, folks.